So the leg tuck requires quite a bit of trunk strength to be able to pull yourself into the position for the event, and then requires a lot of core strength to be able to pull your legs up towards your elbows in order to meet the movement standard for the event. My understanding of the data is that the biggest reason for failure is likely to do with the lack of strength. The biggest limiting factor, I think, is you could say the inability to do something like a pull-up. Because in order to do the event, you have to flex your elbows. It's not just the core, it's also the muscles of the back and a little bit of the elbow flexors, just like the biceps. My strategy would be to train pre-pull-up type training to focus on the muscles of the back that people don't commonly train as well as they probably should, and then advise some strategies for building towards doing the leg tuck by integrating the muscles of the back into some movements that involve core strength as well. So we'll start by showing a basic technique for how to grip the bar. We'll discuss hand positioning. We'll work through, assuming someone is not able to even begin a pull-up, how to train for that kind of event, and then once you're able to start those movements, integrating a core component into it, which is basically a hip flexion, knee flexion type activity. So when you grip the bar, attempt to grip the bar with as much of your hand as possible. Avoid just using the middle or the ends of your fingers. If you're able to, get your knuckles pointed towards the ceiling, and that'll make your grip much stronger. The first training exercise we're going to talk about, we're going to call the knees to chest. What you see the demonstrator doing here is gripping the bar with the grip that we just talked about. And then she's contracting her core and bringing her knees up as high as she can. This exercise will do a good job of training the grip strength and some of the core strength needed for this exercise. For sets and reps, if you can shoot for 3 sets of 10 to 12, that will train both strength and endurance as a regression exercise on your way to doing the leg tuck. When setting up a bar to do a band-assisted pull-up, if you route the elastic band over the bar and then loop the long end back through that little bite you formed, that will form what's called a girth hitch, and you can use that to provide assistance with the pull-up. What you're going to see the demonstrator here do is route her foot through the band. You can also use your knee, and this is a way to perform pull-ups if you lack the upper body strength or just the experience to do the pull-up. Another thing you see here doing, gripping the bar with the grip we already talked about, and her head is going straight up and her shoulders are going straight up rather than leaning backwards. Notice that the demonstrator's elbows are not going to bend beyond or close to 90 degrees. When you bend your elbows close to or beyond 90 degrees, that requires you to use more of your bicep rather than the muscles of the upper back, like the lats and the traps and the rhomboids. Those back muscles are much stronger, and they're able to do something more like a pull-up. Also notice that the demonstrator's hips are translating forward while his shoulders translate backwards. That's another way to employ the muscles of the back rather than exclusively the smaller and weaker bicep. So final parting words, if you are unable to do a leg tuck right now, get out there, get on a pull-up bar, see where you're at, attempt the exercises that we've already talked about, and within about 4 to 6 weeks, you should be able to go from not being able to do a leg tuck to being able to do at least one leg tuck and complete the ACFT test.